There is Julio Ceja, who is now no longer fighting for a world title. Why is that? It's because he weighed in 4.5 pounds above the contracted bantamweight, super bantamweight limit. So Ceja cannot win the world title, but he can hand Brandon Figueroa his only blemish. Let's take a look at the last 5 fights. For Julio Ceja, he's in the midst of a 2-fight losing streak. The last time he won was almost 2 years ago. Victories over Anselmo Moreno, lost to Hugo Ruiz back in February of 2017. So that is the last 5 fights, and here is the 22-year-old out of Weslaco, Texas, from the Rio Grande Valley area, Brandon Figueroa. His 4th fight this year. He's undefeated. He has stopped 7 straight of his opponents. A vicious body puncher. He's known as the Heartbreaker because when he was young, his father used to take him to Mexico to fight in amateur fights, and his father said the little girls were so in awe of him coming in with his little gym bag, and they called him the Heartbreaker because he would break their hearts by not providing attention to the little girls, and that stuck with him ever since. It's trained by his father, Omar Figueroa Sr. He is the younger brother of former world champion Omar Figueroa Jr. This is Figueroa's first fight here in Las Vegas. His brother Omar fought on the co-main event of Pacquiao-Thurman back in July. And Omar suffered a loss, but there is Julio Ceja. Brandon Figueroa will remain the champion no matter what the result is. But Figueroa, 22 years of age, and we'll send it up to ring announcer. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Premier Boxing Champions presents a world title attraction. It is sanctioned by the WBA, the president, Gilberto Jesus Mendoza. Introducing to you our 3 judges, scoring from ringside, Lisa Jumpa, Don Trella, and Glenn Trowbridge. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Super Bantamweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with red and gold trim, hailing from Mexico City, La Ciudad de Mexico. He weighed in at an over-the-limit 126.5 pounds with a record of 32 wins and 4 losses. He has 28 big wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the hard-hitting, world-ranked former interim super bantamweight champion, introducing Julio Pollito Ceja. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks with white trim. Hailing from Weslaco, Texas, he weighed in at the super bantamweight limit of 122 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 20 wins, no losses, 15 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated and popular reigning WBA Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, introducing Brandon, the Heartbreaker Figueroa. And our third man to the ring, the referee in charge now to give instructions, is Jay Nady.
Diaz, 12 rounds. Go say. Catch gloves. Buena suerte, good luck. Let's go to work. Ombligo, I want to see it.
Let's take a look at our tail of the tape. You see the age difference, Ceja 5 years older, the height and the reach in favor of the undefeated Weslaco, Texas product. Getting set for our next matchup here at 122 pounds. Brandon Figueroa, conventional fighter. Julio Ceja, conventional as well. Ray Flores ringside here in Las Vegas for a big night of Premier Boxing Champions action. Brandon Figueroa said it's a dream for him to be fighting here in his home, or fighting in Las Vegas, away from his hometown of Weslaco, Texas. He fought in his hometown back on August 24th when he defeated Javier Chacon. He was elevated to champion after that. Now Figueroa has gone to southpaw. He is an ambidextrous fighter, but typically he varies his looks, does Brandon Figueroa. Double left hook to the body by Julio Ceja, who is yet to acquire a victory in 2 years. Nice right hook by Figueroa. Figueroa looking to mix it up. Figueroa, the combined win percentage of his opponents is 89%. Pounding away on the body is Julio Ceja. Now Figueroa muscling Julio Ceja. You're here in the corner of Julio Ceja. Left hook that connects. They're telling Ismael Salas to move the head. A left hook. There's a right hook that connects by Figueroa. Figueroa using the jab as we are under a minute to go here in the first. This one is scheduled for 12. Hammering away upon the body is Julio Ceja. Both men love to mix it up, and you're seeing indications of that right now. Double left hook. There's a nice body shot followed by a left hook. Figueroa now starting to walk down Ceja. Ceja might be hurt. That body shot stung Ceja. Big shots coming by Figueroa, who is now increasing his pressure. In the pocket is Figueroa. Final moments of the first round. Both men exchanging body shots. That's the end of the first. And let's take a look at what Brandon Figueroa had leading into this fight. Well, this is what Julio Ceja had to say about Brandon Figueroa. He goes, Brandon Figueroa is a young fighter coming up, but he hasn't faced anybody like me. I faced the elites in the division, and we don't know if Figueroa is there yet. We're on our way to a collision in the ring, and I know what I'm going to end up on top. Well, for Ceja's sake, he better end up on top because he missed weight by a considerable margin. There is Figueroa, trained by his father, Omar Figueroa Sr. Here's what Figueroa had to say. They look at me and see an easy fighter. I'm used to it by now. Every time I leave the ring, the way they think about me changes. So that is what Brandon Figueroa had to say. Round number 2. Good first round for Brandon Figueroa, who had Julio Ceja hurt. So I am under the impression we could get clarification on this, but if Figueroa were to lose, there is discussion of, and I don't know exactly, I thought the rules were that Figueroa would remain the champion, but there's also the ideology that Figueroa, that the title would be vacant then at that point. There's big shots by both men, Figueroa and Ceja, letting the leather fly. They both are pretty much fighting in a phone booth, even though those don't exist anymore. Look at this, a left hook by Julio Ceja. Figueroa pounding away upon the body of Ceja. You know, Figueroa, the kid looks like he should be a GQ or Calvin Klein model. instead of a prize fighter, but he is a heck of a fighter. Fighting is in the blood of the Figueroa brothers. Omar Figueroa, former world champion, also for Julio Ceja. His older brother was a fighter, never fought for a world title, but was a fighter, professional fighter nonetheless, with over 30 professional bouts to his resume. 80 seconds left here in the second. Figueroa likes to take away your legs and the air out of your lungs. He said that there's something special about pounding away on the body and watching your opponent taste the canvas. Look at this action in round two. For Julio Ceja, he's coming off a loss at the hands of Guillermo Rigondeaux back in June at the Mandalay Bay. He was winning on all three scorecards, but then was stopped by Rigondeaux. Figueroa is going back to conventional now. Will go in and good jab by Figueroa. Final moments of the second round between Figueroa and Ceja here in the second. And that's the end of the second. We'll listen into the corner of Brandon Figueroa.
Don't stay put inside. Make them miss, make them pay. I know you're smarter than that.
Don't brawl with this guy. Fight from a distance.
Come on, be smart.
All right? You do it.
That was a close round, okay? Come on.
Look at me. Look at me.
¿Lo estabas dejando un poquito? No? Okay. Come on.
Let's take a look at some of these exchanges. There's a big right hand by Ceja. Figueroa ate a couple of shots and then he answered back. What a chopping right hand by Figueroa. I saw Figueroa at the workouts on Wednesday, and I'll tell you that this is the best in shape that we've ever seen Brandon Figueroa. Not to say that he's ever been in bad shape, but he really looks chiseled for this fight. He made his debut at the age of 18 back in May of 2015. He won that fight by decision. But Brandon Figueroa with the high knockout percentage, as Jay Nader separates the two. This one is scheduled for 12. There's a left hook by Figueroa. Figueroa using his jab. They're telling Ceja to look at the waist of Figueroa to see where he's going to move to. And now Ceja is coming forward. Figueroa tying up under a minute has elapsed here in the third. They want Ceja to go ahead and shorten up his shots. The jab followed by the right hand. Pounding away on the body is Ceja. Pounding away on the body is the 27-year-old. Straight left, followed by a left hook. Both men exchanging. Good body shots by Figueroa. 70 seconds left. Good body work by Julio Ceja. Now Figueroa going right to work. Ripping shots to the body. Oh, there's a big left. Back goes Ceja. Ceja saying it was a shot below the belt, but Figueroa pouncing on him. Jay Nady watching the action. That might have been low. That was low for sure. Jay Nady telling Figueroa to keep him up. It's also the fact that Ceja's dipping his head down and crouching down. Figueroa really honing in on the body of Julio Ceja.
That was low. Abajo.
Double left hook by one Julio Ceja. Couple of chopping left hands by Figueroa, and that ends the third. These guys are getting after it. We'll listen into the red corner with Julio Ceja and Ismael Salas, his trainer. Look, I want you to keep your shot short. He throws hard.
Julio, ¿te acuerdas los pasos laterales que hacían? Vamos allá.
Las manos repetidas, pero por acá, por adentro, Julio. No tire la cabeza, olvídate. Abajo
Pégale
donde le
y
duele.
pega.
Look,
Pégale y
don't throw
pega.
at the head, throw at the body.
Donde le duele.
A él le duele abajo, empújalo. Se le pone chiquitico. No empiece muy alto porque él te está tirando arriba.
We want you
Se
to
le pone
keep,
chiquitico. Vamos, sécate los
stay
guantes.
short. Doesn't give him much of a target to throw at. Round 4, this one is scheduled for 12. Ray Flores ringside here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Julio Ceja, Brandon Figueroa going at it for this, our second bout here tonight. Figueroa now gone once again to southpaw. Ceja dipping down as listening to the instructions of Ismael Salas. We'll see if Figueroa can continue to pound away upon the body of Julio Ceja. Figueroa said, I want to be the talk of the boxing world on Monday morning when people are talking about this event. It means a lot for him to be fighting here on this particular stage of Las Vegas, defending his world championship. Good work to the head by Figueroa. Ceja trying to unload on the body of Figueroa as we are nearing the midway mark of the fourth. Good body work by Figueroa again. You see the sweat on the back of both men working very hard. Ceja stepping up his work rate too. A sweeping left hook that caught the attention of Ceja. And body work on the inside by Figueroa. I like how Jay Nady's letting them fight out of the break. They both just want to stand and trade and slug it out. For Figueroa, his mindset is pressure, pressure, pressure. He will systematically break you down. For Ceja, he has been unable to make Figueroa uncomfortable. And that's what he needs to do, is use his experience and make Brandon Figueroa uncomfortable. Jay Nady steps between the two. As we approach the final moments of our fourth round between Brandon Figueroa and Julio Ceja. So we are into the fifth round. There is Brandon Figueroa. Looks over at Julio Ceja, and looks to go right back to work. Jab followed by the straight right hand. You take a look at the connect percentage in favor of Brandon Figueroa. They're both rather similar. There's a big left hook that landed by Ceja. Figueroa smiling. They both are going toe-to-toe. Another left hook by Ceja. Ceja connecting upon Figueroa. Figueroa took that shot well. Double left hook to the body by Figueroa. Back comes the champion. And you hear Ismael Salas saying, come on, Julio, let's go. Ceja throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Figueroa. Punches and bunches is an understatement. A left hook that connects by Ceja. A chopping right hook upstairs for Figueroa. What action between these two Mexican fighters. The left hook to the body by Figueroa. Looks to step away. A right hook to the temple of Ceja. A left hook, a right hook by Figueroa, followed by a left hook upstairs to the chin. Now I think we're seeing blood from the mouth of Julio Ceja. I believe that is blood from his mouth. Under a minute left, a vicious left hook to the body by Figueroa.
Levántalo, cojones. Levántalo. Levanta, Julito. Levántalo, Julito. Vamos.
Figueroa still chasing him around.
Vamos. Vamos, Julito. Vamos. A las manos, Julio.
Final 30 seconds. Oh, left hook by Ceja.
Lo tiene, Julito. Síguelo, Julio. Síguelo. Síguelo, Julito.
Right hand by Ceja as Figueroa came forward.
Vamos. Vamos, Julio. Doble gancho. Esa.
Left hook to the body by Figueroa.
Vamos, Julito. Cierra fuerte. Esa.
And that's the end of the fourth. Let's take a look at this action. Oh my. As that was the left hook that caught the attention of Brandon Figueroa. If there was any doubt as to if he could take a punch, well, it has been answered in that particular case because he was blasted at full force. And then Ceja would go ahead and respond with more. More work. Taking a look at it one more time. There's a right that caught the attention of one Brandon Figueroa. It's a big round for Julio Ceja, who needs it in order to get back on track. Round 6, this one is scheduled for 12. Brandon Figueroa allowed Ceja to get possibly back into this fight. A left hook to the body by Brandon Figueroa. Another one. Chopping right for the 22-year-old champion. Right hand to the body for Figueroa. A minute has come off the clock. here in the 6th round. Big right hand. A right hook upstairs for Figueroa. Figueroa, no doubt, is earning his paycheck tonight, as Ceja isn't going away. But if Figueroa finds a way to stop Julio Ceja, that is a statement victory. This is without question the biggest and most decorated opponent that Figueroa has been inside the ring with us. We're just over the midway mark of the 6th. Left hook to the body by Figueroa. As we are approaching 1 minute to go here in the 6th. This has been an action-packed fight. There's a right cross for Figueroa. Overhand right by Ceja, who connects. Pounding away on the body is Ceja.
Dale, mi Julio, meta chiquitico, chico, ahí chiquitico, pégale, coño, chiquitico y pega.
A right hand down the center for Ceja that momentarily backed up Figueroa. A right hook for Figueroa. Boys, the action intensifying between these two, Figueroa and Ceja. Listen into the corner of Brandon Figueroa.
You gotta be smarter than that, Brandon.
Dar aire, dar aire. Dar aire, dar aire. Dale, dale agua.
Brandon, you're getting lazy.
Come on.
That's what you're doing. You're getting lazy.
We win the round, lo terminamos. Come on. Consistent. You gotta be consistent, okay? Put your combinations together. But you can't be lazy with your hands. Hey, pick up your hands. Bring them back up. Don't stay there. You throw good combination inside. Move. Come on.
Coming up on round 7. This one is scheduled for 12. Brandon Figueroa, the pride of the Rio Grande Valley area down in West Lacote, Texas. He's the champion. He was supposed to put his title on the line tonight, but due to Ceja missing weight, the title is no longer on the line. Figueroa has a little bit of a cut or a bruise outside of his left eye. It's not bleeding. Pounding away is Julio Ceja. Both hooks right now, both men exchanging hooks. A right for Figueroa. The left hook to the body by Figueroa. Back comes Julio Ceja. Look at this action again. Both men throwing caution to the wind. They literally have their foreheads on one another and are pounding away on their bodies and going to work. A left hook that caught the jaw of Julio Ceja, midway mark of the 7th round. If you're Brandon Figueroa, though, he loves hooks. He loves big power punches. It would serve him well, though, if he started things off with the jab. The jab is something that he needs to be able to set up those body punches and and really find a way to break down your opponent. Someone like Julio Ceja has been in the ring. He's 0-2 in world title fights here in the United States. The left hook for Julio Ceja, but it's one of those things that Ceja is 0-2 world title fights, but he's been around for quite some time. So you have to respect him, and you know that he's going to give you various looks. I mean, he gave Rigondeaux all that he could handle and some. So what can Brandon Figueroa do? You got to start things off with the jab. Figueroa chasing down Ceja. Ceja not hard to find. Doubling up on the left hook is Ceja. As we near the end of round 7, a left hook for Ceja. And round 7 has drawn to a close. Just goes to show you how close these guys are fighting at, how with their head placement. Look at the overhead. Look at this. They both literally are almost forehead to forehead and just pounding away on each other. It's like, all right, you got a left hook, here's my left hook. You want a left cross? I got a left cross. Oh, here's a right hook to boot. It's almost like a buffet of punches. And we are here in the United States. We're 5 days away from Thanksgiving, but I would not want to be eating body punches and punches to the facial region whatsoever. And there is Brandon Figueroa. I mentioned a little bit of a bruise outside of his left eye. I would have to say that this is probably the most damage that he has had in his young 4+ year career. Round number 8. This one is scheduled for 12. Great to be with all of you here in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for joining us around the world, wherever you are watching. Happy holidays to all of you and your families. Hope you enjoy this wonderful time with loved ones. But right now, there's no love lost between Brandon Figueroa and Julio Ceja as they both continue to wail away upon one another and are absorbing quite a bit of power punches on both ends. Left hooks by Ceja. Coming up next, our co-main event, Leo Santa Cruz and Miguel Flores. No relation to me, but they will match up against one another as Ceja and Figueroa just continue to pound away on each other. Can you imagine just physically watching these guys throw as many body punches and power shots at each other? How much conditioning, how much work is involved to prepare yourself to go to battle, even for 8 to 10 rounds. I'll tell you that I've done some, pounding away on the heavy bag, and after 2 rounds, I'm totally gassed out like I have run a marathon. These guys are fighting at the world-class level and just throwing punches, moving, keeping themselves in positions to throw. It is absolutely remarkable what these gladiators put themselves through on a daily basis. More blood streaming from the mouth. I believe there is a cut outside of the right eye of Julio Ceja, a right hook that connected by Figueroa as we near the 1 minute mark in the 8th. Straight left for Figueroa. Crowd filing in here to the MGM Grand. Expected crowd of over 12,000 here in Las Vegas. Left hook for Figueroa. There's a straight right that connected. If you're Figueroa, the focus is to not just look good, to look great tonight. But he certainly has his hands full with the very tough and cagey Julio Pollito Ceja, and that means baby chicken. Pollito means baby chicken. The fans getting excited into this matchup. Ceja and Figueroa continue to trade against one another as we head towards the 9th. And as for Brandon Figueroa, he's doing quite well against Julio Ceja. Ceja is Figueroa's first opponent with 30-plus wins. And for Brandon Figueroa, he has 7 straight knockouts. Well, he has 4 more rounds to try to extend that to 8. 4 rounds remaining in this super bantamweight clash. Now, don't forget that Julio Ceja cannot win the title because he missed weight yesterday. Ceja trying to paw in with the jab, get a different look towards Brandon Figueroa. There's a left hook to the body by Ceja, followed by a straight right. Now Figueroa using his jab, but it is something that he needs to use more of. Use your jab, try to keep your distance. Figueroa is almost smothering his own punches by not stepping back half a step. If he were to step back half a step and then throw a hook to the body, that would give him more leverage, but easier said than done against the veteran in Julio Ceja. There's a left hook for Ceja. Left hook to the body by Brandon Figueroa. 80 seconds left. Now I believe there's a little bit of there's an abrasion above the right eyebrow, or underneath the right eyebrow of Brandon Figueroa. There seems to be an abrasion on the right eyelid of Brandon Figueroa. I don't know if it's bleeding, but it is an abrasion. Might be a bad bruise. A right hook finding its destination for Figueroa. This is a physically taxing fight on both men. Not easy. You know that they're going to wake up tomorrow morning and be hurting. Barreling into Figueroa, and there is a bruise or a cut outside the right eye of Brandon Figueroa. Doesn't seem to be dripping into his eye, but that is a bad, bad cut outside of the eye of Brandon Figueroa. Ted Lucio will work on that. And that ends the 9th. We'll take a look at the cut above the right eyelid of Brandon Figueroa.
Hey, you gotta move your feet.
Round 10. This one is scheduled for 12. Ray Flores ringside here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. Happy holidays, everybody. Giving you an early holiday treat with our main event of Wilder Ortiz, the rematch. Using the jab as Figueroa. On and away is Julio Ceja. Ceja giving a good account of himself in the ring. And that is in spite of him missing the weight yesterday at the weigh-in. Chain 80 will separate the two. Left hook to the body by Julio Ceja. Again, Ceja pressing the issue. Julio Ceja 0-2 in championship fights. His first attempt, he went to the UK, lost to Jimmy McDonald, and then he was stopped by Hugo Ruiz in their rematch back in February of 2016. For Ceja, he has yet to get in the win column in nearly 2 years. It's his 4th fight here in the United States for Ceja. He's 1-2, and all 3 fights have ended in stoppage. He's looking to get his United States record of 2-2. Left hook, crack in the ribs was Brandon Figueroa. Nice right hand down the center for Figueroa. Just over the halfway mark of the 10th. Such a privilege to be here in Las Vegas. It is buzzing for Wilder Ortiz 2. Deontay Wilder hasn't stepped inside the ring here in Las Vegas in nearly 4 years, over 4 years, going on 5. A chopping right hand for Figueroa. Using his jab as Figueroa. Coming forward is Ceja with the right hand. Jarring the jaw is Julio Ceja. Again, both men fighting at close distance. They are hammering away upon one another. Left hook to the body. Julio Ceja is making Brandon Figueroa work. Oh, there's a left hook that caught the attention of the Westlaco product. Figueroa goes back to southpaw as we are headed towards the final 2 rounds in this super bantamweight affair. That's the end of the 10th. Round 11, this one is scheduled for 12. Brandon Figueroa, Julio Ceja. They are battling upon one another. And again, Ceja cracking away. Both men are starting off the 11th almost like they did in the first, just throwing big power shots. There's some water in the center of the canvas. Both men were trying to wipe their feet. Look at them go. This is action-packed. It's amazing to see how much both gentlemen can absorb because they've had their moments here in the fight. A left hook to the body by Brandon Figueroa. Figueroa is fighting very similar to his brother Omar in the sense that they love to engage at close distance and throw a lot of punches. There's an overhand right by Ceja. Ceja moving his head. Figueroa looking to find him, and he gets nailed with a left hook from Ceja. They are urging Ismael Salas, telling Ceja they want a left hook to the body. That's what they want, hooks. There's a right that snuck through the guard of Figueroa. There's a straight left by the champion in Figueroa. And Ceja tattooing Figueroa with punches, but Figueroa lumbering forward. Under a minute left in the 11th. There's a right hand that casually sprayed Figueroa. Ceja having a very good round here, and the blood is impacting Brandon Figueroa. He wiped out the blood above his right eye momentarily. They both are now just slugging away. As we are approaching the 12th and final round, between Brandon Figueroa and Julio Ceja. Both men are pounding away upon each other. We'll listen to the corner of Julio Ceja.
Y lo tienes que ganar.
Último no lo puedes perder.
No
lo tienes que chingar.
Arráncate tirando y termina
Te
tirando.
le ponen chiquito, no le cojas golpe, te le ponen chiquito, Julio.
Keep throwing, keep throwing.
Ganamos esta pelea. Vamos a ganar esta pelea.
12th and final round on the way. In what has been a fun matchup to watch between these two combatants. Brandon Figueroa, his 7-fight consecutive knockout streak is on the line. A right hook that connects the judges in this fight: Lisa Giampa, Don Trella, Glenn Trowbridge. We'll see if Ceja goes for broke. Figueroa advancing forward. There's a right hook that connects upstairs for Figueroa. Ceja and Figueroa both engaging in close distance. It is a war of attrition between these two fighters as a minute has come off the clock. There's an overhand right for Figueroa, left for the champion. The corner, Ismael Salas telling Julio Ceja, you got to finish strong. There's a straight right that connects. Over the halfway mark between these two. They both are trading a right hand that backed up Julio Ceja. Ceja has been bleeding from his mouth pretty much since the 4th round on. A left hook followed by a right. Look at them mix it up in the final minute of this super bantamweight clash. Left hook to the body by Figueroa. Overhand right that connected. A left hook followed by a right for Figueroa. Figueroa pressing the issue and has been doing so pretty much the entire fight. Both men in tip-top shape to be able to fight at this level upon one another, as we will likely go to the scorecards between Brandon Figueroa and Julio Ceja. Terrific, entertaining matchup. Let's take a look at what we saw here in this fight. Both men having their moments. Hooks to the body. They fought so close to one another. This ring could have been 10 by 10. They would have still been okay. They wouldn't have used even that. They would have had room to spare. Because look at how close they fought to one another distance-wise. Hooked by Figueroa, right hand. Ceja had his moments as well. Figueroa was looking to break down Ceja. Ceja withstood the pressure and answered back. That was his best punch of the fight. The left hook, as Figueroa smiled at him, an indication that he was hurt. Again, look at it, he kind of, Figueroa shakes his head as to say, okay, I understand. But both men throwing caution to the wind, pounding away on each other. And they put forth an entertaining show here on the big night of boxing, on boxing's grandest stage here in Las Vegas. Figueroa and Ceja will go the distance. And Ceja throwing, look at this. So much fun to see these two just pound away upon each other and not give up 1 inch. As we await the decision. There is Omar Figueroa Sr. in the corner of his son, Brandon Figueroa. And now with the decision, here is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. Judge at ringside, Glenn Trowbridge, scores about 115 to 113 in favor of Brandon Figueroa. Judge at ringside, Lisa Jampa, sees it 116 to 112 in favor of Julio Ceja. And judge at ringside, Don Trella, scores about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a split decision draw.
So it is a draw. Ceja gave a heck of a count. Here are the scorecards. Well, it was hard for me to score when being here at ringside calling the fight. Neither man necessarily pulled away, and it is a draw. So it happens to be the first, if you're going to call it a blemish, on the record of Brandon Figueroa. This one goes the distance, and he's standing by with Heidi Androl.
Thank you very much, Brian. Well, Brandon, what a fight. I know you expected him to come in with pressure. You expected him to come in with the combinations. He most definitely did that. Did you believe that this was very close, and did you think you won it?
Yes, I mean, I think I did win the fight. He did come put pressure, but I feel like I fought better in the earlier rounds, and I finished up strong.
He came in 4.5 pounds over. How much was that adding fuel to your fire in this fight?
I mean, I'm basically fighting a guy above my weight class, but, we never said no to fight. We took the fight. But I'm pretty sure if he was to weigh 122, that would have, it wouldn't even be a close fight.
You said that you wanted to prove that you were a true champion. Tonight you faced, I think it was 373 punches landed. That is the most you've ever faced in a fight. Do you feel like you've proven that you are a true champion for those critics out there?
Yes, ma'am, but, definitely we got to run the rematch back, but this time he better make 122.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, we'll send it over to Jordan.
Heidi, Felix De Jesus will translate for us. That was a great fight. You guys were throwing punches. You were taking punches well. Where do you feel you fell short?
Muy buena pelea, Julio. Ahí se intercambiaron bastante golpes. ¿A dónde tú piensas que estaban tal vez un poquito corto en esta pelea?
Bueno, primero que nada, quiero darle gracias a toda la gente y esta pelea es para toda la gente que vino aquí. Que se la dedico a todos ustedes. Gracias.
First of all, this fight is for all you fans that came out here to see me. Thank you for being here.
Now he's saying that he would like to run it back, have a rematch. What do you think about doing that?
Él quiere otra próxima pelea contigo.
Bueno, pues la verdad es que fue una gran pelea, una pelea que nosotros sabemos que fue de este lado, pero bueno, así son las cosas. Es un gran peleador y yo estoy listo para dar una revancha, ¿no? Él me dio la pelea de hombres, le agarro la revancha y de verdad que ya nada más que mi promotora, Promociones del Pueblo, se llegue a un acuerdo para la revancha y yo estoy listo para el día que sea.
Yeah, he was a man about it. He gave me the rematch, and he gave me the fight. So now I'm ready for the rematch. I think I won, but if they called it a tie, that's fine. I respect the judge's opinion, but definitely I want the rematch if it's available.